Hey, hey, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Today's a really special stream. Well, it's not a special stream, but it's a Thursday stream, which is not very usual for me because my schedule is different in the week. But it turns out that today I have some time to stream, so I wanted to just take it and do it, and I don't know. So yeah, and also I want to make up to what's the word to compensate for this Saturday because I'm not going to be home this Saturday because I have to travel and do some stuff, and yeah, so I usually stream on Saturday. So since I'm not going to be doing it this week, then I took the opportunity to stream today. Okay, so we have a 4 stream week. Okay, so yeah, I'm confirming. Well, Yeah, I don't want to make promises, but I think I'm also going to stream tomorrow, which is going to be really cool. If I can do that, I don't know, because I have to prepare for the thing, the travel. So I have to make my stuff and my I don't know the word, but I have to prepare my stuff, my clothes and stuff for traveling. So I don't know how much time I'm going to have tomorrow, but I should be able to do at least a short stream, like an hour and a half, something like that. But yeah, I don't want to make promises and everything, so I'm just going to keep I'm just going to start the stream for today, okay? So so right now we're basically working on the interaction system for the game, okay? So let's jump into some Voyager dev, okay, shall we? So, hey Ciala, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. So, let's see. So we have this, this is my current list of tasks. Gotta get something to drink back in 15 minutes. Gotcha, okay. Oh, you know what? I also need to get some water, so I'm going to fill my little thing with water and I'll be right back, okay? Give me one moment. Hey, I'm back. So yeah, I have my water here. Stay hydrated, always, okay? Don't forget to stay hydrated. So, oh, look at that. I can zoom in really easily with my keys. That's cool. Okay, so yeah, I have this list, okay, for my current tasks, and I'm basically working on the interaction system. So, what do I have actually in the game? In the game I have this thing, okay, which is an interaction area. This is a prefab that has this script attached, okay, and this is for every kind of interaction in the game. So for anything that you can think about when it comes to colliders and stuff like that, okay? This is basically the system I'm going to be using, and I'm trying to make it as simple and as compact as possible, okay? So for that, I'm basically using the observer pattern for this, okay? This is like a pattern for structuring a system, and it's a design pattern, okay? So what is this? Okay, so the interaction area is basically a collider that can have different shapes, okay? It can be a box, it can be a circle, whatever, and it's going to have that's going to be a collider, and it can be solid or it can be a trigger, okay? And that collider, when it interacts with something that we specify here under filter tags, okay? So for example, here I set it to player, okay? So for example, if this thing interacts with the player, then this is simply going to just fire an event, okay? So that's the most modular and decoupled way of doing this, I think. It's really useful because I can use it for literally anything I imagine. So, for example, imagine we have, I know I explain this every time, but let me show you just for maybe some people that, okay, what the hell? Okay, whatever. So, you see here, for example, I have this example, okay? This is an example I have, which is, this is our starship, okay? And we're in space. And then we get to a planet, okay? We get to this planet, oh, okay. So now when we get close to this planet, we want to land on the planet. So how do we land on it? Okay. So first of all, we need the planet to have some kind of area, a trigger, that once the player enters that trigger, we are now able to press an input and then land on the planet, okay? So that's one example, one use case for this interaction area system. And what's really good about this is that, for example, I can do stuff like this. So let me go like discard everything here, like Control-C like crazy. So let me just go here. Let's say I just add one interaction area there, okay? So for example, I go here. What's really cool is that this is really simple. I'm not doing like crazy editor tooling or anything like that. It's just something simple. But it's really useful because, for example, I say, okay, so in fact, let me just show you doing it like in an actual case. So let's go to the planet prefab, okay? This is the prefab I use for planets. So this is a planet sprite, okay? And this is what you see in the background when you're on a planet. In the background, you can see this sprite just as a decoration so that you can see other planets in the background. It's just a decoration thing. But in space, this is going to contain other stuff that let you interact with the planet and then just land on it. So this is what I just explained, that you can, we need an interaction area here, a trigger. So for that, I can simply say, okay, grab this one, okay? I just put this interaction area here, okay? And then I say, okay, so I need a circle here, clearly, because I want the area to be a circle, okay? And I want it to be a trigger. Okay, perfect. So now all I have to do is just go here and say, okay, this is going to be a trigger. Then the shape, I need it to be a circle, okay? Then filter tags. Okay, so I want to be able to interact with only with the player. Okay, that's it. Then ignore. I can add other colliders I want to ignore with this interaction area, but there are no other colliders I want to ignore, so I can just leave it there. Okay, and I can set a color here, a custom color, but I'm going to show you that in a moment. So after I set all of that up, like I set all of the parameters. Oh yeah. First of all, let me check my audio really quick. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, it's perfect. I was scared for a moment that maybe, I don't know, my microphone was not set up correctly and I've been talking for like 10 minutes. Okay, it's all good. So after I set all of the like values for every setting here, I just click this, which is a setup button. Okay, it's a boolean, but I have it in a way that it functions like a button. So I can press this, and now this automatically adds a circle collider component, and it sets everything according to the settings here. So for example, I want it to be a trigger, so you can see is trigger is marked as true here, for example. And you can also see that, for example, if I deselect this, it has the color that you specify here. So for example, I say, okay, no, I want this kind of collider to be actually a cyan color. Okay, now you can see it's cyan. Okay, that's pretty good. So now all I have to do is just say, okay, so I have to basically set up the collider, the radius. Okay, if I want some offset on the collider, I can do it. So for now, I can say radius of, let's say, for example, a radius of 1.5. Okay, I think that's pretty good. In fact, I can make it a bit smaller. Okay, and you know what? I think, let me check. This is the biggest planet we can. Okay, so the actual collider radius is really small, but it's okay because I don't know, it doesn't matter. Okay, perfect. So now we have this already set up. Okay, so we have this interaction area, and this, every time the player enters or exits or whatever interaction happens, the player, like this thing, like this script, is going to fire an event every time that an interaction happens with the player. That's really good because that's all we want. So now the planet can read what's happening with the interaction area and say, oh, player is now inside the trigger. Okay, so now show something in the UI. Okay, so that's basically going to be the actual thing we need to do. And the previous stream, we basically created this interaction area system and blah blah blah. So now having this ready, I also want to go ahead and just create a basis for the hitbox and hurtbox systems, because they are part of the interaction area, but those need, like, they need a special set of things. So I'm going to use I'm going to use composition here. So I'm going to basically create a prefab variant of interaction area, and I'm going to create one for hitbox and another one for hurtbox, and I'm going to create a script called hitbox and then another one called hurtbox, so that I can add those scripts here on top of the interaction area script, so that hitbox is going to have some kind of things, okay, and hurtbox is going to have another set of things. So for example, the kind of structure I'm thinking about is, think about, like, one example I can think about is, for example, a bullet or like a projectile. So let me show you really quick here. I'm going to do a little drawing. And I realized I'm always doing the same drawing. So imagine this is the astronaut, okay? Okay. And imagine the astronaut is like shooting something, okay? I'm doing this, like, it doesn't matter. So it shoots a projectile, okay? So this projectile should have a collider, okay? Of course. This projectile should have a collider, so that if it hits an enemy, okay, let's say we have an enemy here. If the projectile hits the enemy, the hit is going to happen between the hitbox and the hurtbox of the enemy. So the enemy, like every entity in the game, is going to have a hurtbox, even the astronaut. everything is going to have a hurt box so that it can detect any hit, okay? So what happens with this? So this is a hitbox and this is the hurt box. Now when this enters in contact with the hurt box of the enemy, what happens is the hurt box is going to be acting as a passive component, and the hitbox is going to be the active component. That means that the hitbox is going to contain the information of the damage, okay? So I'm going to create a class called something like damage info that's going to contain the damage value, okay? How much damage that projectile is going to inflict to the enemy. And then it's going to have, for example, I can add another value for, I don't know, hit point, for example, so that we know where the projectile hit, okay? So it hit here, so that's the point of the hit point, okay? And then we can have another set of variables just to have some information about the damage data. So in the future we can have something like, for example, the information about some buff or debuff, for example. So let's say the player has a weapon that has poison damage. So if this projectile contains the poison damage, then when it hits here, is going to transfer that information to the hurt box. So now the hurt box is going to say, okay, I got hit by this projectile and it contains this information about the damage, okay? It has, I don't know, 7 damage, okay? The hit point is 3 and 0.2, okay? And it has poison. So that means that now this hurt box is going to fire another event with the damage information, and then the enemy can process that and run some logic according to whatever happened there. So if the hurt box received this information, then that's going to be processed, and the enemy is going to say, okay, now my life, I have to remove 7, like decrease my HP by 7. I also, for example, can play a particle like a VFX at the hit point. So if the hit point is, for example, here, then I can play like a particle there. Or if the hit point is here, then I play it there, okay? And then if the damage info contains like a debuff property, then I'm going to say, okay, at that point we should have some kind of like buff system or something like that that runs the logic of, for example, the poison is going to take to decrease HP over time. So every second is going to decrease the enemy HP by some amount, okay? So all of that logic and information is going to be transferred first from the weapon system to the projectile, and then the projectile is going to transfer that information to the hurt box, and then the hurt box is going to transfer that information to whatever system is listening to the hurt box, okay? So some system of the enemy is going to be listening to the events that the hurt box is firing. So now this is basically an extension of the interaction area system, because the interaction area is like a more basic and bare bones implementation. So this is like really basic in terms of like of logic. So this script is basically only just reading interactions with other colliders or interaction areas and then firing an event based on that. Okay. So I want to set up the actual hitbox and hurtbox thing right now. Not because I'm going to actually implement that right now, because we're working on other things, but I want to set that up because it's really fast and I want to have that ready for whenever I need to use it. So I'm going to do that right now. Also, I want to keep this under Neptosmic.Voyager.interaction. I want to use this namespace so that I try to have everything like in their own namespace, so that I don't like create duplicate class names and stuff like that. I don't know, it's just an organization thing for me. You don't have to do this if you want, if you don't want to. So yeah. Okay, great. So yeah. Now that I have this, I just need to create. What did I change? Did I change something here? Oh yeah, I changed that. Okay, whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of things, a lot of scripts that now need the interaction namespace. So I'm just going to add the using that I need, which is okay, that should be it. This one is also, oh, you know what? Instead of doing this, I think I prefer to say, so if I'm doing this, I'm going to say interaction area. So yeah, I think that's much cleaner, or at least I like seeing actually the namespace of that particular thing. So yeah. Okay, perfect. So now we should be good to go, unless there's another script. Yeah, of this one. So here I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, perfect. Okay, that's amazing. So now now we can basically start doing what I just described. Okay, I'm going to leave this here because that's all good, that's perfect. And yeah, so now if I go here to interaction system, I should be able to just create a new script called hitbox. Okay, okay, great. And then I'm going to create another one called hurtbox. Okay, great. Perfect. Now I can go here and just add this to this namespace. Okay, so I can just go here and add this. I can go here and also add this. So now we are in the interaction namespace to have everything a lot more clean, or cleaner, or I don't know. But anyways, now what do I need in each one of these scripts? So in the hitbox thing, well, I also need another script called damage info, and I believe I have that somewhere. Yeah, here you can see collision info. This is not well, collision info is one thing, and I think it should be called like interaction info, maybe. So yeah, I should move this to move type to collision info, and I also want to call it interaction info, and I'm going to move it to a new file, okay, and then I'm going to have here this. So should damage info contain this, or should it inherit from interaction info? That's a good question. That's a really good question, actually. I think in this case, like, the difference is practically like whatever. It doesn't really matter because well, I don't know. Unless I start adding some methods and variables that I need to share also within, yeah, I think I'm going to inherit from that. So yeah, interaction dot interaction what? Interaction info. What the hell? So, oh yeah, this is broken. So, partial class. No, I don't like it being a partial class, and I don't like this here. So now that's better. Okay. Now I can do the same thing here. Interaction info. That's perfect. And I can do this, and now interaction info is going to contain the like the hit point, and then damage info is going to contain, for example, load damage. Okay, and that's it. For now, I'm just going to use this. That's perfect. And I want to do the same thing. I want to move this to a new file. Okay, so let's see. It doesn't say anything weird like. Yeah, that's perfect actually. So we're going to keep it like this. This is perfect. Interaction info is basically the same. Am I using? Yeah, I think I need to copy this to here. So yeah. Okay, perfect. So that's great. That's great. Okay. Okay. Give me one moment. Hello, welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, so okay, so now we have those classes there, and now here under hitbox and under herbox I need some some stuff there. So so basically from hitbox I need to actually listen to the interaction area. So I'm going to first of all create a region. I'm going to say interaction area. Okay, it's perfect. Now I'm going to say region events. Well, no, this is not going to have any event. This is going to have so this is going to contain on hit some on hit. So I'm going to say on hit. Now I also need to subscribe to the interaction area event. So I'm going to say on enable and also on disable, so that we subscribe and unsubscribe from the event when we need it. So on trigger, because we know that this is going to be a trigger only, okay, so on trigger, on hit, okay, and I'm going to say I'm going to do the same thing, okay, and now I'm going to generate the method there. I'm going to replace it here and remove this, okay, so now we have the actual, like, the interaction type, okay, and you know what, I'm also going to move this outside of the interaction area, because this is actually not like inside of the interaction area class, and this shouldn't be a partial class. So I'm just going to add it here. Okay, so here, instead of doing this, I'm going to do that. Okay, that's perfect. And now, whenever we hit something, then we have to check whichever type of hit this is. Okay, and now, whenever we're hitting, I'm thinking about a couple scenarios, okay? So, I think that I should be using, I should be using only on enter. So, I'm going to say, for now, we're only going to use the enter event type. Okay, if event type is not enter, then we return. Okay, so then we also need to check if the other should the system already be able to call on hit on enter? Yeah, it should. So this on hit is basically going to be called once the interaction area fires the event. So interaction area has these events, okay? So it has on collision for solid colliders and has on trigger for trigger colliders. The hitbox is going to be a trigger collider, and the hitbox has a reference to the interaction area. So whenever the interaction area fires the event, then the hitbox is going to listen to that event and do whatever logic it needs to do, okay? Hey, where Amy? Where Amy? Where Amy? Hi, welcome to the stream. So right now I'm working on an interaction system that we're going to be using in order to detect stuff in the game. So here's an example I was talking about earlier. So we have hitboxes and hurtboxes, and also the system is also going to be used for general interactions in the game. So you can see, for example, when you get close to a planet, in the game, you have this big area where if the player enters that area, okay, I can't do that. So if you enter that green area, that's a trigger. Then you're going to see in the UI, you can see the planet name, and you can also press an input to land on the planet. Okay, so that's what we are aiming for right now. So yeah, that's what we are working on. Have you tried Godot? What do you think of it? Actually, I have tried Godot, and the thing is, I tried it like many years ago, and it was a bit like, it was a lot different than what it is today. Like today is a lot better, but it's still not up to what Unity is. So Unity, at least for me, it's a much better in like a lot of aspects. So yeah, it has a lot more like support for stuff. So for example, to give you like a practical example of the difference between Godot and Unity, what you see right now, like all the overlay here, like everything I made in Unity myself. Like this overlay is like interactive and everything. You can already see, like for example, I can go into a bigger screen right now. So let me show you. For example, if I press a button, you can see my screen gets bigger, for example, and I can make it even bigger. So all of this, like the animations and everything, I made in Unity. And I can, while you can do that in Godot too, I believe, the camera is being captured in Unity too, so that I can apply some shaders and stuff. I don't have any example right now. But for example, I can press a button and I can disable my camera. Okay. And Godot doesn't have support for that. So if I want to capture my webcam in Godot, I can't, because they don't have support for that for some reason. I think they have that support for some platforms, but they don't have it for Windows right now. So it's getting better and better, and it's really good for I don't know, for many kinds of games. But I don't know, I'm just so familiar with Unity that I just choose to keep using it right now. Godot does not support camera capturing internally. You will need to craft your own library. Yeah, exactly. But Unity is just a line of code. It's so simple. So I have to just call a line of code saying like webcam capture and blah, 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 and that's it. And I give it a resolution, and it's much easier for some stuff. But yeah, I'm not saying Godot is bad. It's really good. Godot is really good, but it needs to be a bit more like mature as a product, like you said, Amy. So yeah, that's basically my answer. What's the game gonna be about? So let me show you really quick something. Well, I need to I need to fix this first. And yeah, let me senses. I can show you really quick. I need to fix some places where I was changing some stuff. So yeah. Okay, so if I go here, I also have this error here. Okay, perfect. So now everything is back to normal. I should be able to... How long have you been using Unity? Oh, so to put you in context, I've been making games since like 2010. I started making Flash games. I was like, I don't know, 15 years old back then, and I was pretty crappy making games. My games were pretty bad. But I started making Flash games back then, and then in 2018, around 2017 and 2018, I switched to Unity, and I have been using it since then. I learned Unity by making a 2D game. It's like a fighting game, kind of like Mortal Kombat with digitized graphics. And yeah, I've been using it since then, and I even work professionally for a company. And yeah. Godot is free software. Unity changed licenses more often than CEOs. Yeah. So the issue with Unity right now is the trust. Basically, they screwed up their trust with the users because of that licensing stuff. Like after the backfire and everything, they reverted everything, I believe, or most of the licensing things. So right now that doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, you don't know what they could do like 2 days from now, or even, I don't know. So yeah, that's the thing with Unity. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm already doing a lot of things in it, so I don't know. It's really hard for me to switch engines right now. Yeah, many people went from Flash to Unity. Yeah. So it started being really popular, like, I don't know, maybe 10 or even more years. So yeah. Yeah, it's really good, and it really evolved a lot since then too. So when I started using it, it was not really suited for 2D games, and right now it has a lot more tools for 2D. Are you free to talk about product you/company released? Yeah, kind of. Like, I can't talk about what game I'm doing right now with the company I'm working on. But I did work. So this is the thing. I worked for a company for about 4 years. I worked for like from 2020 to 2024, so last year, I worked for a company that made like mobile games, and I made like, I don't know, almost 100 games. They weren't like complete games; they were prototypes. But a couple of those games were getting like really good metrics. So a couple of those games were getting to late stages of development, and one of them is a really big game that, well, it was a huge hit at that time, and it lasted for a couple months and then it died. It has like, I don't know, maybe 10 million downloads in the Play Store. It's a really big game, so I can show you that game. I think. Hey, sorry, Simiaeus. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry. So yeah. So let me show you the game I'm talking about. So PCI is the name of the company I used to work on, and that company worked for a number of other like international companies, such as for example Lion Studios. It was I don't know right now like today, but it was a really big company back then for mobile games. So where the hell is this? Oh well, I can show you. I can even, yeah. Let me show you. Do I have this? Yeah, I can show you this. This is basically a reel I show, like I was using in my resume to show the games I worked on. So you can see, like, of course I didn't work on the art. Like we had it was like a big team, but we were working in smaller teams in each project. So pretty much 90% of the projects I worked on, it was just me and one artist that made the 3D art and models and stuff like that. I made a lot of the shaders. So for example, on this one, I made the water shader. I made some of the jelly shaders here on that guy. A lot of particles I also worked on. So for example, on this one was really cool. So the one after this bubble, it has a really cool shader I worked on too. The outline shaders. So yeah, this is all of this is made in Unity too. So yeah, this kind of like a Dragon Ball ripoff. It was really fun to do too. So yeah, basically everything you see, and the game I'm talking about that's a really huge success. It was a really huge success it was in 2021. Is this one? Like this one has like over 10 million downloads in Play Store. It's called Voodoo Doll. So yeah. Was it stressful? Yeah, kind of, because we had like in some cases we had, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 weeks to work on a prototype. It was like really intensive. Sometimes they gave us like a lot more time. So for example, this project took like, I don't know, maybe 4 months to be developed, because it was like, first the prototype was made in like a couple weeks, and then it was evolving because it was getting good metrics, and then yeah, exactly, tough deadlines, of course. And yeah, they were pretty tough and pretty strict, is that the word, with the deadlines. And yeah, and most of the time it was the only developer was just me. And we had in for example, in my project, it was just me as a developer and then just one person as an artist, and we had to do like a lot of things. And then if that game was doing good in terms of metrics and campaign and marketing and stuff like that, then they would start we would start getting more people into that project. So maybe then I would start working with a couple, like 1 or 2 more devs. So yeah. Yeah, that's basically my experience, because they wanted devs to just build software and see if people like it. Yeah, exactly. That's the base strategy for indie games. Not indie games, sorry, for mobile games. Like the mobile game industry is just wild. It's a whole different world to the other platforms. It's just like create prototype, test it in the market, see if it does good. If it doesn't do good, then just cancel it and jump to a new project. And that's it. Great work. Thank you. Thank you very much. So yeah. Oh man, it's a shame that I can't show the YouTube chat in the stream. So down here, you can see like Amy's messages are not being shown there. That's because of like Twitch policies. They don't let you like mix the YouTube and Twitch chat in the same screen for whatever reason. I don't know, it's just dumb, but it is what it is. So yeah, like in the overlay I have the YouTube messages. They are like being processed, and I can show them in the overlay, but I'm not going to, because I don't want to risk my my channel. I am here too, yeah. So now your messages are hidden now, Ciala. That's really fun. Have tried networking or used any network API for multiplayer? Yeah, so actually in the mobile company I was working on, there was just one game that we worked on some like asynchronous multiplayer gameplay. So it was like, you know, it wasn't real time. It was basically like an infinite vertical scroller. Well, not scroller, but you would progress like it was a top-down view, and you would like solve some puzzles. So for example, it's easier if I explain like this. So the game was something like this, where you like the characters like this, and it's like a top-down view. And for example, you had like a river here, and like, I don't know, like a log here, for example. And you had to push this log here so that it creates a bridge there. And then you could cross the river, okay? And the asynchronous part was that this puzzle was being solved for you and also for every other player that gets to this point. So in reality, this was a really big level. So let me just make this smaller. So this was a really big level, like vertically, that you could like advance infinitely. And there were like other puzzles and whatever, and you would be solving stuff as you progress through the level, and then some players would be ahead of you and some of the other players would be like behind you. And it was like some kind of co-op thing, but asynchronous and stuff like that. That was one of like the only project I worked like for multiplayer in the mobile company. And the current game, like the current company I'm working on right now, we are making a kind of like a Skyrim game with like an extraction mechanic. It's like an extraction shooter, like Escape from Tarkov, and it's mixed with some other stuff like Skyrim. Like it has combat like Skyrim and Chivalry 2, and it is basically a co-op multiplayer game. So it's a dungeon extraction. You enter the game, you create a lobby, you invite some friends, and you enter a dungeon. You can I don't know, kill enemies and loot some chests and stuff and get items and stuff like that, and you can extract and you get all of those items with you. And yeah, so that's the other project I'm doing. But I don't know, I really like multiplayer games, but I don't really like working on multiplayer games because it's really a pain in the ass. It's really difficult. Do you have a drawing pad? Because your drawing is pretty good. I do have. So is this one, let me show you. So I have this one. It's a pretty like cheap tablet. It's a Wacom. I think I have the command for that. Let me check that really quick. I think I have the command for that. So if I do this, is that working on YouTube? Let me see. It takes a little time for YouTube to do the thing, but yeah, maybe I don't have Nightbot properly configured in YouTube, but you can see it down here. It's one by Wacom, and that's the model. It's a pretty, it's the most basic one you can find. And it's pretty good. It's all I need, because I don't need like the ones that have the actual screen. I don't know. I know that band. Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know. It's really good for me. And thank you for the drawing things. Yeah, although all of this I'm doing like with the mouse, because I don't want to use the tablet right now because it's just for explaining things. I use the mouse and it's pretty easier. But for example, for stuff in the game, yeah, of course I use the tablet and stuff like that. So yeah. So yeah. Okay, so pretty good hand control. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think so. Although like I really can't do straight lines. So like with the mouse it's pretty easy, for example. But with the tablet, if I want to draw like a straight line, I'm really bad at that. My I don't know, I don't have the steady hand. I couldn't draw that with a mouse. Yeah, I don't know. I think it you need practice. I think that's all. So you can see like the orbits here are like terrible. And the planets are just the same brush, and I just scale the brush and do that. So it's more like a using the tools correctly instead of technique, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Thank you. So let's go back to the system I was doing here. So for the hitbox, I want to check if the other thing is yeah, I want to change the name of this function. This function is going to be executed every time the interaction area collides with something. Is this game going to be 2D or 3D? Is 2D and it's pixel art. So I can show you really quick something. For example, here. I think I have a video somewhere where I can show you. So yeah, this, for example, this is when you're on a planet. You're going to see this. Well, this is just for like something I wanted to show, but yeah, it's going to be like similar to, I don't know, Blasphemous in terms of like scale of the character and controls and stuff like that. So you can see you have like some mobility. You can explore the planets, and it's going to be procedural, similar to No Man's Sky. It's like an infinite universe, and you have like a ton of planets you can explore, and like almost everything is generated procedurally. So yeah, any rogue mechanism or randomization, I don't think I have any rogue mechanics for now, like roguelite or roguelike mechanics. I could add some elements from roguelikes, but it's not going to be the main thing of the game. I think that the main thing of the game is basically just exploring and like more like Terraria. Yeah, kind of like that. Although I don't know if I'm going to create a crafting system and stuff like that. And you also can't destroy terrain in this game. It's more like the core loop of the game is you explore planets, and there's like a civilization that it's like a race called Vectorialis, and those are like the main enemy in the game, and those are like kind of androids or robots that are colonizing every planet. So planets have like a domination level that goes from 0 to 100, and the bigger that domination level is, the more colonized that planet is, and the more enemies you're going to find in that planet. So you have to go to planets and kill, like destroy all of the enemies to decrease that level. And yeah, the main goal of the game is to find some kind of portal to the fortress where those Vectorialis robots are created, and you have to destroy that. That's the main goal in the game, but that's going to be like the end goal. So it's kind of like in Minecraft, where you have to find the end portal and then go and defeat the dragon, but it's optional. You can do that or you can not do that if you want. So yeah, it's around that kind of gameplay. Isn't a big project. Well, I'm trying to keep it like not too small, but also not too big. So I want it to be like medium sized. So for now, I just want to get to like to a demo where you can play and there's like enough content for like, I don't know, maybe a couple hours of gameplay. And then from there, I will see if I get like, I don't know, a publisher or something like that to fund the development of the game. And from that, we can expand the game like to wherever we want, because it's, my idea is that it's in the same sense, like, well, in the case of No Man's Sky, it was really bad because it wasn't the main, like the intention from the developers for the game to be that empty at launch. But you know how they every like a couple months they like they release a new update with a lot of new features and stuff like that. So I'm aiming towards something like that with this game, so that I can expand it and add new content and stuff like that over time. So yeah, we need some marketing tip pronto. Some posters. We want you. I am doing my part against Vectorialis. I am joking. That sounds really like vintage and stuff like that. I already imagine the posters. It's really funny. They overpromised a release. Yeah, exactly. So that's the problem. I want to keep this like, of course, I'm not going to be lying about the content of the game and stuff like that. Like, I'm not saying they are bad for doing that or whatever. I don't want to enter that field. I really like No Man's Sky, and I even pre-ordered that game, and I played day one, and I enjoyed it. So it's all good, and they are doing an amazing job, and it's like the biggest comeback ever. Yeah, they lied. It's I don't know, but at least they put their face and finished it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they just sat down and just shoved their asses and just worked on the game really hard, and now the game is like huge. It has a lot of things. So yeah, that's really admirable, honestly. Have you used Fishnet or Photon in a project? No, I think I've used well, you know, I don't even remember. I don't remember if I used Photon or Mirror. So those two, one of those two is the one I used for the mobile asynchronous game. But right now I'm using Unity netcode, which is NGO, I think. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's like the new Unity multiplayer system for which is built in like Unity 6. So that's what we are using for this project. So, oh yeah, so what I have to do here is if other the try-get component hurtbox out hurtbox how the hell is this thing? Out hurtbox H, and I think I have to yeah. Mirror is an overkill for that project. Are you saying for the mobile project that I was showing just a moment ago? Yeah, I removed that, but yeah, I think maybe we used Photon, but I can't confirm. I don't remember. It was like a really long ago. I thought you would use HTTP or WebSocket for sync data in long interval. No, actually no, we didn't use that at all. Yeah, and it was like like I said, it was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I don't even remember, and it was a project that we worked on for like maybe 1 month, and then it was canceled. So yeah, we didn't get to do a lot of things. So this we have the other hurt box, and now is when we confirm that we got the hurt box from the other thing. Are most project multi-language? I don't know if you're asking if most projects are multi-language. I don't think so. I think, for example, the majority of the projects that I worked on are just C#. Well, of course you can get into other languages if you enter, like, for example, shader code zone. But for example, for shaders, I use shader graph, which is not writing like a single line of code. You just use nodes, kind of like blueprints in Unreal. So it's something like that. Like I did write some shader code in the past, but I'm not really good at that. I don't really know much about shader code, so I just use shader graph, which is really good. Yeah, when you guys release, are you aiming for English, Spanish? Oh my god. I thought about you, like, I thought you were talking about like code language. So dumb. So we did I did multi-language stuff for the project that was launched, that got like 10 million downloads. For that game we released like worldwide, and we also released in China, and for that they didn't want the game to be in English, so I had to do some Chinese translations. I don't know, it was interesting, but I only did it for that game. And then for the game, like the company you're working on right now, is just English. And for example, if this game, like, I don't know if you're asking specifically for this game, which is my game, Voyager. This game is right now is just English, and my main language is Spanish. You may have noticed that English is not my main language, of course, but I'm doing this in language because this is the most universal language. But I would like to have like a Spanish option for this game. And I don't know if, for example, we get a publisher and I get funded, like I get some funds for the development of this game. I think I'm going to do localization, of course. I think it's a must if you get the budget, of course. So yeah, now Hurtbox region. So yeah, another region called public and region. Yeah, English is becoming universally, which is sad. Spanish, English, simplified Chinese. Yeah. Do you think those are the most common languages? I think Portuguese might be one of the most. Yeah, I don't know. Portuguese, French, Russian. I don't know. Amy, is English not your main language? Why do you think it's sad? Well, I agree with with that, it's sad for English to be the only universal language. I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm curious about why you think like that. So so here I should say set damage. Well, this should be receive hit, and this should receive damage info. Okay, and hurt intent should also have this. Yeah, should this be called like this on receive? Yeah, I think that's better. Hey, Bread Monsters, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. Because this will lead to loss of history and cultura, like when all languages die. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like, I think it's really important for cultures to have some kind of preservation. Like every country should have some kind of preservation on their like native culture, and that includes, I don't know, food and arts and languages and stuff like that. Hello, Bread Monsters, how you doing? Welcome. First time chatting. Ah, espera, hermano, yo también hablo español, soy de España. ¿Qué tal, hermano? Estoy genial, gracias. ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? Yo soy de Argentina. Mucho gusto, bienvenido al stream. I don't see you using any AI assist. Have you tried Unity AI? Not really. I didn't use Unity AI. I have Copilot somewhere, but I turned it off because it's really annoying. And yeah, I kind of want to try to do everything myself until I get to a point where I don't know what to do, or for example, if I need to do like some trivial thing, some trivial task that it's something I did like a million times, I just go to ChatGPT and say, okay, do this for me, and just copy the code, because yeah, it's a waste of time otherwise. Mucho gusto, Bread Monsters. Gracias por el follow, muchas gracias. On received hit, okay. So here I think we should do on received hit, the invoke, and we set it to damage info. Okay, and here we should say other hitbox dot receive hit, and we pass in the damage info. So this should have a like I should create like a debug header there. And I always like having this reference in public. I could serialize it and maintain it as private. Oh, I hate those glasses, man. Eres muy guapo, bro. Ya sé que tú tienes novia. Sí, de hecho sí tengo novia. Gracias por el cumplido. Yeah, I don't use it, not even ask it. I just search forums because I am used to it. Yeah, exactly. I just I tend to do the same, yeah, because it's what we are used to. But sometimes it's really useful to use AI for some, like I said, for some trivial tasks and stuff that it's things that you already did like a million times, and you don't want to waste time like writing the code because you already know how to do it and it's really easy. So for example, like going through a for loop to search for something. I don't know. Sí, jaja. ¿Qué es Voyager? ¿Puedo ver el juego? Sí, sí, por supuesto. Sí, déjame mostrarte. Es más, te voy a mostrar este video. El juego es básicamente esto. Es pixel art 2D. Es mecánicamente hablando, es como un platformer de acción. Tiene elementos de aventura y eso. Y es básicamente similar a No Man's Sky. No sé si conoces el juego No Man's Sky, probablemente sí. En el que tenés un universo infinito con un montón de estrellas y cada estrella representa un planeta solar. Un sistema solar. Y cada estrella contiene una cierta cantidad de planetas que podés ir y explorar. Y bueno, cuando explorar planetas, básicamente esta es cómo se ve. Tengo un video un poco más actualizado, por ejemplo este. Pero sí, todavía no llegué a esta parte. Tengo algunas cosas implementadas, pero ahora estoy prototipando otras cosas. Qué guapo, se ve genial, me encanta el diseño. Muchas gracias, gracias. Pero sí, básicamente esto es una de las partes del juego, pero por ejemplo tenés la parte del espacio que se ve algo así. Ahora te voy a mostrar bien, necesito terminar el código este. Ahí está, mira, te voy a mostrar rápido para que puedas ver. Tenés esta sección que es como la parte en donde estás como en tu nave espacial, estás en el espacio y podés ir a otros planetas. Llámame monstruo del pan. Perfecto. Me parece bien. Pero bueno, básicamente... Bueno, acá tenés el minimapa que te muestra tu posición y podés ver la posición de planeta. En este caso tocó un sistema con un solo planeta. Voy a darle play de vuelta, así puedes ver. Así toca, a ver si tocan varios planetas. Bueno. No estamos teniendo suerte. Salen todos sistemas con un solo planeta. Ahí está. Bueno, puedes ver que los planetas tienen distintos tamaños, entonces podés viajar con tu nave y podés ir a explorar otros planetas. Entonces activas tu hipervelocidad y podés ir a otros planetas y bueno, y podés ver que están generados proceduralmente, de forma random, digamos. Y nada, tienen distintos tamaños y podés ir. Y la idea, lo que estoy tratando de hacer ahora... Hay un montón de cosas que están hechas así nomás, o sea, como que no son finales, por supuesto. Pero la idea es que cuando estás cerca de un planeta, presionas algún botón y entras a este planeta y lo que ves dentro del planeta es algo como esto, o sea, así es como se juega, con la vista 2D, digamos, y todo eso. Este es otro nivel de crear juegos, gracias, muchas gracias. Sí, así que básicamente esto es lo que es el juego Voyager. Is the studio you're working at is Spanish or located in Spain? Because I don't think Europe have many studios. No, not at all. It's a US-based studio, and it's all English. So yeah. Although it's pretty curious because well, I know why this is the case, but I'm not the only one who speaks Spanish there. Like there's a couple people that's like native English speakers, but like 80% of the team, I would say, is like all like from Latin America. So I'm from Argentina, it's from Latin America, and there's a lot of other people like from, for example, from Colombia, Venezuela, Mexico, yeah. There's a lot of people that's like Spanish-speaking natives, and of course I know the reason, and that's simply because like Latin, like what's the name of this thing? So if you hire someone from South America. Yeah, but I'm talking about the working space. So if you hire somebody from South America, it's going to be much cheaper than, for example, somebody in Europe or North America. So yeah, it's sad and it's unfair, but that's the way it is. Outsourcing, yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's basically the case. Is it remote position or in office? I think it's fully remote. Like, I'm in Argentina, like I'm in my country right now, and I think most of the people that work there is like based in their home country. So ¿qué prefieres, que hablen inglés o español? Como vos prefieras, o sea, por mí no hay ningún problema. Yo, o sea, siempre intento aclarar que el idioma principal del stream es en inglés, simplemente porque la mayoría de la gente que viene habla en inglés y porque todos los streams quedan guardados en YouTube. Tengo un canal de YouTube que estoy streameando al mismo tiempo y los streams quedan guardados en YouTube. Es como una especie de registro que yo voy guardando. Para que queden todos los streams y quien quiera puede ir a ver todo el registro de cómo fui desarrollando este juego. Pero dicho eso, en realidad no tengo ningún problema con que la gente venga y hable en español en el chat. Yo contesto en español, no tengo ningún problema. Nada más que sí, o sea, una vez que contesto lo que sea, salvo que me quede charlando con alguien en puntual, yo vuelvo a hablar en inglés porque es como el idioma neutral que uso para explicar lo que estoy haciendo en el proyecto. Así que si quieres hablar en inglés, me parece perfecto. But your Spanish is different from Spanish from Spain. Yeah, exactly. That's because I'm from Argentina and it's a different type of Spanish. Like in Spain, they tell something like, hostia, ¿qué haces, tío? I don't know, I'm really bad at that. I'm gallego Spanish, yeah. Perdón, monstruo del pan, si destruí el español gallego, perdón. Hice una imitación muy mala, pero sí. So yeah, Ciala, Argentinian Spanish is a bit different. Like, the pronunciation of some letters is different than the Spain Spanish or Spanish from Spain. The contamination from Italian, you can hear it. Yeah, exactly. So, eu falo galego. So yeah, what do you think of the job market? Is it getting hard or impossible to get a job? Oh yeah, so there's a lot of conversations going on here. So, to answer Amy right now, I don't think it's impossible, but it's getting hard. That's for sure. So to give you an example, last year, so the previous company I was working on that I mentioned, I worked for 4 years there, and then last year, like, pretty much the company was like laying off everybody. What's the expression for, like, the company, like it was broke? No, not broke, but yeah, they basically just couldn't maintain the company anymore. And yeah, so they had to lay off everyone, and yeah, they didn't dissolve completely the company, but yeah, they basically did a mass layoff, basically. Was dead or destroyed? Yeah, not like that. It was like the only people that's left in the company is just the owners of the company. So it's just 3 people, and they are still working, but they don't have any employees, basically. So that's what happened there. And luckily for me, I was already working like as a side work, a secondary job I had for the company I'm working right now. So after that, I switched to working full-time for this company I'm right now. And yeah, I would say, like, the amount of job listings, is that the correct expression, is like lower than before, but I don't know, varies from time to time, and it's also different like in the different markets. So if you're talking about in the mobile space, it's a different context than, for example, other companies. For example, I don't know, PC games or console games or even indie studios. That's a completely different area than mobile games. And oh yeah, I'm just seeing, I'm catching up with the messages. So yeah, Amy was saying that English in Britain is different than the English in the US. It's exactly the same example. So Argentina and Spain have different like pronunciations or like not pronunciations but like accents, I would say. It's something like that, but the language is pretty much the same. Bread Monster says you have a chat in YouTube and Twitch because I was confused on who you were talking to. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm streaming both to Twitch and also to YouTube, and there's one person that's talking from YouTube, chatting from YouTube right now. And the thing is, I can't show the YouTube chat down here. I'm only showing Twitch chat down here because of Twitch policies. If I show both chats, then I run the risk of like Twitch like shutting down my channel, because that's like terms of service from them. They have that TOS rule that you cannot combine like Twitch and YouTube chat in the same screen. I don't know, it's just dumb, but it is what it is. How tough was the interview? What tough questions you faced? So I only had an interview for the first company I worked on, and it wasn't really hard. They just asked like a couple questions about Unity, and at first it was like I entered as a junior, so for a junior position, which is not really common these days, it's really hard to find a junior position for a company, but they don't really ask you like difficult stuff. But if you're like applying for a, like I would say like an intermediate level, I think the questions get like harder and harder. But if you are at that level, they shouldn't be really hard because it's your wheelhouse, I would say. But for the current company I'm working on, I didn't really have an interview. The guy said just, can you do this? I don't know. And then I just did some kind of task, and they just hired me after they saw my work, basically. When I speak English, I got an accent, and some people tell me if I'm from Argentina or somewhere else because I'm Gallego, and I got an accent in Spanish and English. Yeah, it's like you can tell that English is not my main language, and I have some weird accent because I don't know. I tend to watch like an Australian streamer that does game dev. It's really good, and Australians have like a really different accent than US and also British people. So, and yeah, I consume a lot of content like in English, but from different English types. So I have a mix of every possible accent. So yeah. What does Gallego mean? Galicia? No. Gallego, it's like a way of referring to Spanish people. That's basically it. Oh yeah, Bread Monsters was just answering that. It's like a different Spanish talking because there is Gallego and Catalan. Yeah, that's a better explanation, actually. Castellano is also a different Spanish type. Yo falo Gallego, and yo hablo catalán, or something like that. Yeah. Catalan is Castellano. Yeah. If you don't mind, what was the task /test they asked you to implement? I think it was just a simple UI thing where I had to basically just create a menu that when you press a button, then it opens up like a sub menu with some kind of animation and transition, and they basically wanted to see how I implemented the scripts. So they basically wanted to see my code. So, how does he manage the references to objects, and how does he call like the animations and transitions, and it's like how you structure your code and how you do the different responsibilities for each class, for example. So just to give like a specific example, you should have, for example, a script to manage the menu states. So you can have like a main menu state, an option state, I don't know, a setting, or like tutorial state, and then that should be handled by one script that's called, I don't know, UI state machine, that changes the state that you're in the menu. And then you should have another script that manages the animations or the transitions, so the movement of the different panels and buttons. So that's basically what they were trying to analyze. So yeah, that's what I remember. It was a long time ago. Castellano is not Catalan. Wait, really? For me, when I search Castellano, it autocorrects for Castellano. So Castellano is a type of Spanish, and Catalan is a different language entirely, I think. These are two different languages. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I thought. I got confused for a moment because Catalan is like different from Spanish. In fact, if someone like talks to me in Catalan, I don't even understand what they're saying. It's like really, really different. But like, for example, Spanish is the same language we use in Argentina, Chile, Peru, Venezuela, Colombia, Bolivia, Mexico, Spain. So there's a number of countries that use the same Spanish language, but then Catalan, I believe, is only used in some part of Spain, I think. Where Amy? I'm just reading your message now. So big state machine and logic, which is a good test. Yeah, exactly. So I think it's a good test. I agree, because they can see how you structure your code, how you split and how you manage responsibilities from different classes and stuff like that. They usually want to see your, like, at some level, your skills in C#, which is one thing, and then your skills at the editor itself. So using the Unity components, such as, for example, the animator, the canvas, the GUI elements from Unity, which is like the text and buttons and events from the buttons and stuff like that. So those are like different skills that you need to have in combination to do stuff, for example. And that's just one thing, because I was only tested for UI stuff, but then if you talk about like game logic, that's a whole different thing. Catalan is the language from Barcelona. Yeah, I think it's the native language, but then they already, like, they all use Spanish because it's like the most common. But although I don't really know, I could be talking like wrong stuff, because I'm not that familiar with like culture and geographical stuff. But yeah. So yeah, okay, we have the hitbox and hurtbox thing. Well, let's just go ahead and create the prefabs. Español España is what almost all Spanish people speak. Are you asking me? I think so. Yeah, Ciala said the same thing that me. That's really funny. So yeah, I also think so. I never went to Spain, so I couldn't say for sure, but I don't know, I would really like to go there, but it's so far away from here. Great talk. Sorry if I took lots of your time. Oh no, don't worry at all. It's so good. I really like having this type of interaction with the chat, so I don't care. Just if you want to ask whatever amount of questions, I'm happy. People say Gallego is like Portugal. There's Spanish and then reggaeton Spanish, bachata romantica Spanish. Yeah, those, I believe those are like different accents, but the language is still the same. Like they have different like slang, which is one thing, but the core language is the same. Hopefully I catch your stream in the future. Oh yeah, for sure. I hope you get around soon in others of my streams. So be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching from there. And also if you want to watch from Twitch, you can go to my Twitch now. It's I can even send the thing. So that's my Twitch. You can follow me there too if you want to catch me live. But I stream on Twitch and YouTube always, so don't worry about that. I'm always going to be live on both channels, so yeah. Galicia is near Portugal. Let me ask my Catalan novia. That's funny. There are more parts in Spain that speak Gallego. I subscribed and turned on the notification. Oh, that's great. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's great. I appreciate it. So, Portugal or Portugal or whatever, I think they have the Portuguese language, which is the same language they use in Brazil. So Brazil is like a neighbor country from Argentina, or to Argentina, I don't know, and they speak Portuguese. Hi there, I am an unemployed human wannabe game developer. Okay, welcome, Devansh Rawat. Is that how you say your name? I hope so. Welcome to the channel. So yeah, we are a bunch of game devs talking about languages and like real languages, not programming languages. It's really... Brazil Portuguese is like Argentinian Spanish. Are you saying like in comparison to the Portugal Portuguese? Is that a thing? Like Portugal... Isn't Portugal like people talking in... Don't they speak Portuguese too? Or is that a different Portuguese? I don't know, maybe that's the case, but yeah. So yeah. That's really cool. We are at 65 followers right now, so we need 5 more followers to reach our current goal, which is 70 followers on Twitch, of course. I'm a game dev too. That's really nice. That's really cool. So, how much experience do you guys have in game dev? So, have you made any like game or some, I don't know, project? Yes, the Portuguese in Portugal is less melodical. Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. I've joined a game jam. That's really cool. So, well, that's a really good way of learning stuff. You know what? Because of a couple things. So if you want to learn something in the game dev field, of course, a game jam is a really good way of doing that, because point number one, they have a limited amount of time, and once the game jam is finished, you're going to be finished with the project. You can continue the project afterwards, but mainly once the game jam finishes, you're going to feel like the project is finished too. That's point number one. Point number two, they're like game jam games are always going to be small games, and usually the right way or like the best way to go about a game jam game is to explore one thing. For example, one mechanic. So I want to create a platformer game. So in that game jam, you're going to be focusing on that mechanic, on that main mechanic a lot. Then you can add other like components, for example, like, I don't know, combat or puzzle elements, but you can like try to focus on the main thing that you want to learn and explore that in that game jam. And in some cases it could be frustrating if you don't get to finish the game, and you can be sad about that and frustrated. But I think if you set your like mindset to be just for learning, you're not going to be like disappointed with the result, because you will have learned a lot of the thing you were trying to implement. Whether or not it is working, you're going to learn a lot of things. That's really good. So here Ciala sent my most completed prototype. So let's see this. This could be interesting. Oh, this looks cool. This looks cool. Okay, I just broke the zoom. This is really good. Oh, let me pause the music. It has music and everything. That's really good. How long? Like, when did you do this? Is this like recent? Oh man, I have to catch up with the chat. I've joined a game jam. I made a game and I am bad at coding. I use Unity, but I used Godot before. Okay. I've been doing game dev since I joined college. Never made a full-fledged game. Made many projects and VR projects. Oh, that's interesting. I never made a VR project. That's really interesting. I've joined Pirate Software's game jam, and the theme is only one. Okay, that sounds cool. That sounds like a cool game jam theme, actually. It has been 3 years, I think. Oh, so you have quite a bit of experience, from what I can tell. If it's been like 3 years, you might know how to do like the basic stuff, and yeah. So Bread Monsters, you say you're really bad at coding. That's just coding and like practicing and doing stuff. So you have to set some small and realistic objectives for yourself, and say, for example, okay, I want to make like a character jump. That's all you want to be doing, for example. So you say you have your ground and you have your character, which could be just a rectangle like this, and you want to make this jump, for example. I'm just making an example. Maybe you want to do some more advanced stuff, but to do this, you're going to maybe just start watching tutorials and stuff like that, and you're going to create a script. Okay, so you create your script from like a C#. Okay, and you create the script and attach it to the game object. So now you learn that game objects can have scripts attached that can run some logic. And then in the script itself, you will learn that you you have your start function and your update function, and then that you have to read the input from the player to do something. And you're going to be learning stuff like that just with one objective, which is, for example, in this case, learning how to make this character jump. That's going to give you a lot of things to learn, and it's really good. So you can pick like small objectives like that. I wish someone teach me Unity because I suck at it and I'm trying to learn a lot, but I don't know where to start. So, have you watched Braki's tutorials? I think those are really good for like beginners. I highly recommend you to, yeah, so I'm going to send the message, the name. That's the name of the channel. You should definitely check that out because it's a really good channel for starting to learn Unity. Like the Unity videos are pretty old, and now he switched to teaching, like making Godot videos, but the videos for Unity that are there are really good for starting out. So yeah. Devansh says there's a lot of controversy around pirate software recently. Have you heard about it? Yeah, but I'm not entirely familiar with the thing. I think like there's like and I'm going to play the game now, but like the pirate software thing, I think it's because of the Stop Killing Games initiative, something like that. And I think he said something against that movement, and yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of people that's saying that it's a jerk for like saying stuff against that movement, which is, in my opinion, that movement is really good, but I haven't read about a lot of that topic, so I don't want to give an opinion without being like really familiar with the topic. So yeah, I can't see my chat and screen. Yeah, sorry, Devansh. Sorry about that. That's because I can't show, because of Twitch policies, I cannot show the YouTube chat down here in my overlay. That's the way it is. I can't do anything about it, so sorry about it. Thor has been called out for his poor code also. Oh yeah, I also saw something on YouTube. On my YouTube feed, there were a couple videos, like thumbnails, that I saw of like some YouTube channels, like some dev YouTube channels that were like analyzing the actual code for the game, which is Hardbound, I think is the name of the game that Thor made. And yeah, I have seen like the thumbnail. I didn't enter to see the video and all that, but yeah, it's I don't know. I did see like watch a short that Thor made a long time ago, talking about Undertale. That Undertale code is really a mess, and it's like a big if statement like nest. It's like a really bad spaghetti code. And well, I never played Undertale, but I know it's a really well known game, indie game. But yeah, I don't know. On his point on Stop Killing Game, he has some good point of view on how complex the requirements are for small studios. Okay. I haven't seen it, like his opinion, so I don't really know. What's your stream in Twitch? Let me send you the link. That's my Twitch channel. So you can join there and follow me on Twitch too if you want. On YouTube, I'm streaming on YouTube because all of the streams are saved there and they are like published on YouTube and they stay there forever, and that's really good because if anyone wants to watch like the process of development of my game, they can go and watch all my streams basically. So Ciala says, so the initiative is if passed, would push small studios would need to comply and with a not small investment. So let me see if I understand what the Stop Killing Games initiative is. Is that, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that initiative so that all games are not shut down because of so how do I phrase this? It's really hard. So you know how all games get shut down, like all games that need internet connection in order to work, they get shut down because of course that's that costs money to studios to maintain those games. So basically the movement of Stop Killing Games is to stop that from happening so that everyone can still play all games that they paid for. Basically all games should be left in running state. Yeah, okay, so that's a better way to to summarize the thing. So yeah, I saw one video of Lost Relic Games. It's that guy is amazing. I really like his videos. And I think I saw just that video about the movement, the Stop Killing Games thing, and he explained that that Ubisoft shut down the game called what's the game? I can't remember. Maybe you know what the game is, but it's basically one of the games. Is it The Crew? Maybe, but it's one game, like it's a racing game, and you could like enter. It has single player mode and multiplayer mode, but the entire game needs to be run with internet connection. So Ubisoft basically shut down that game. So now, even though you paid for that game and you bought that game, you cannot play it, because if you want to open it, like the servers are down and you cannot enter the game. Not even for like playing the single player game, the single player mode. So yeah, and I think they did that because they are going to release, or they released a new The Crew game, I think. And that's really shitty because yeah, if you paid for the game, there should be some way for you to play the game, at least if the game has a single player offline mode, of course. But you're right, online games should be able to switch to single player, or you should be able to run on a local server, which is a lot for an indie studio. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's the same thing I was thinking. Yeah. So yeah, what does Stop Killing Games even mean? Because I've seen a lot of videos saying that. Stop Killing Games is basically Stop Killing Games is a movement that some guy started so that everyone can still play all the games, even though they well, it's just what I just explained before, but yeah, basically it's a movement. It means like stop killing old games. That's what I think it means. I wish someone. Oh yeah, so 91 Demigod. It's a new user, or is that the same user that was talking via YouTube chat? Maybe. Do not get me wrong. Ubisoft, EA, Activision, Microsoft has the resource to address this requirement, but can France 747? Yeah, that's true, man. What happens if suddenly I need to shut down Voyager because I can't pay for the servers? No, no, no. Voyager is going to be single player and you're not going to need any internet to play it, okay? You can play it offline and whatever. Well, maybe in the future I will add multiplayer compatibility, but that's for like the case that we get a publisher and I get funded and whatever. But if I am the only developer of this game forever, then it's going to stay single player. Voyager 2.0 online. That could be a thing. That could be a thing. If we get funded and we get some budget for that, I would love to do that. But yeah, me alone working on this game, I don't think that's possible. Yeah, the guy sued the studio for it. That's me. Oh, you're the Amy. So how do you want me to call you? Is it like Demigod or Amy or what's better? They killed the game Little Big Planet and I'm mad at it because Little Big Planet was my childhood and I always played it. Yeah, so that's basically one of the things that the movement is trying to fight against. All games being shut down. And there are a number of reasons that companies shut down games. Some of them do that because they are launching a new game and they don't want people to be playing the old version of the game. Sometimes that's because the game is too old and there's a really low number of players playing that game actually, like currently in the present. That's another reason they could do that. But I mean, the problem is that if I pay for a game, I want to be able to play it forever. It doesn't matter if it has a multiplayer section or feature or whatever. If the game has some way of being played alone, like single player or with bots, for example, or something like that, I think they should do something about that, so that we can still play the game even offline, or maybe hosting a local server or something like that. But yeah, I see the point that Thor is making, that indie studios are mostly like not capable of like dealing with that sort of thing, like maintaining old games, because that costs money in some cases and it's not easy, of course. It's Ultimate Sackboy. Yeah, that's why I love playing retro games. So I really love playing retro games. I have my Game Boy here, so you can see like this is my classic Game Boy. I have my Game Boy Advance here, okay? And I even have my original Sega Genesis here at the. So let me see if I can show you really quick. Do you see that? Do you even see that? That's my CRT TV, and down there, well, I don't think you can see that. Maybe if I turn on like my flash, my torch on my phone. Can you see it now? For there. So I have my original Sega Genesis, because that's my favorite console of all time. It's the Sega Genesis. It's the console I grew up with and I really love. In fact, well, Voyager is like inspired a lot by Sega Genesis games, and that's why I love playing those, because you have the cartridge and you can put it in and just play. So yeah. Do you know the full form of CRT? Because I had a whole semester related to it. I don't know what you mean by full form of CRT. What does that mean? Aren't you younger than that console? Yeah, I am. I'm actually 30. I turned 30 this month. So I was born in 95, and the Sega Genesis is from 89. 1989. But the thing is that here in Argentina, since we're like third world country, we get stuff really late. Like, well, not today, like nowadays is different, but when I was a kid, like in the 2003, 2005, I don't know. At that time, stuff was like, if something was released in the US or maybe in Europe, we would get that same thing, maybe 1 or 2 years after. So yeah. 30 years old. I was thinking that you were 20 years old or even 18. That's crazy. 18, dude, that's a lot. Thank you. Yeah, I just turned 30. I am older than that then console I played on CRT. You seem young. Thank you. I'm pretty, what's the expression? Flattered? No, what was the expression, but thank you. You're making me blush. CRT cathode ray tube. Yeah. So yeah, I know what CRT means, but I don't know what you mean by the full form. Were you studying like the composition of the CRT and stuff like that? Because I do know how they are like made and what components they have, like the board, and they have the York in the back and how that works, and the electrons and the gas inside the big tube, and yeah. Flabbergasted. Maybe that's the expression. So, and also my dad and my bigger sister or older sister, whatever, they both are they basically repair TVs and electronic stuff. And when I was a kid, CRT TVs were still a thing that they used in the little town I lived in. And well, my dad and my big sister, my older sister, they had this little store where they sell, well, it's still there, so they are selling stuff and also repairing stuff. And I always saw like CRT TVs everywhere, and they are like disassembled, and there were like TV parts everywhere. So yeah, it was really fun. Ciala, you say you're older than the console you played on CRT. How old are you? Okay, I'm going to play your game, Ciala, okay? I've been like being distracted by the chat, like not in a bad way. Don't worry, it's not a bad thing, but I've been chatting with you a lot, so 1980. Oh, that's interesting. So my older sister, she was born the same year than the Sega Genesis, so 89. So you're 45 right now? Wow. That's interesting. Experienced person. I think I'm the youngest here. How old are you, Bread Monsters? So settings, audio, that's good. Player 1. So AD, Q, E, space to drop down, and down is S. Okay. Okay, that's perfect. Player 2 is 4-player. Okay. Can I play this alone, or do I need other players to play with me? Unknown. Okay. I really like the aesthetic. I like the font. It has like those dots. I'm 16 and I will be 17 on December. I was born on 2008. Oh my god. You're the youngest person here. It's like it's crazy to me because like any person that was born after like the 2000s, for me it's like 8 years old. But that's because my brain is stuck like in the 2010s. I don't know. And also after the pandemic, like the years are going so fast. I don't know, I think we entered some kind of wormhole after the COVID thing, so it's crazy, man. You can play alone, single player, or multiplayer with 2 hands. Okay, I'm going to play single player. Okay, single player. So, oh, it's a Tetris. Okay. Oh, that's amazing. I really like Tetris. I'm so bad at Tetris, but I really love Tetris. So, oh, you can. If I hold S, it doesn't go down like quickly. You said you made this in January, so that's interesting. Oh, you can play with the touch controls too. So like this. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. Oh, that's cool. ESC settings. Player 1. Oh, drop down is space. Okay. Although I'm going to use the arrows because I think I'm better with that. So I'm going to do that. Rotate is going to be Z, and rotate right is going to be I can press that. Okay. Drop down is Z. Oh, no. Let me just reset this. Right. And then rotate is going to be this, and this for drop down. Or maybe S to drop down. J, K, or I to drop down. That's better. Okay, I'm going to use those controls. Okay, that's better. Okay. Okay. I think I bugged the game. Menu touch, disable touch UI. Touch. Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah, I think I bugged the game, so I'm going to go back to the menu and start again. Your browser is not supported. Okay. Which browser? Should I use... No, this is Edge. Should I use Chrome? I'm gonna try with Chrome. Yeah, okay. So let's see. I'm going to go full screen mode. Is it F11? I don't know what the key is for. It's actually a desktop. Yeah, I can see. So I'm going to configure this again. So rotate, I'm going to do this, and this to drop down, okay? Okay, single player. Okay, let's play. Okay. You can already see I'm really bad at this. It's really good. I really like the 3D look, like the perspective is really nice. I'm already screwed. Okay. We're getting somewhere. It's not enough for a Tetris. I'm going to risk it. Okay. Oh no! Okay, I will do this. It's fine. Tetris, let's go. You're not bad for a youngster. Okay. I really like playing the OG Tetris. Like, well, I say it is the OG. I don't know if it's actually the OG Tetris, but the Tetris on the original Game Boy, like the classic Game Boy, that's the best Tetris ever. I really like it. And I also played some no, oh, I fucked that up. It's okay, it's okay. Have you played the Tetris 99 in the Nintendo Switch? It's really good. It's like a battle royale Tetris. It's really cool. I'm not used to the controls yet because I'm used to using a controller. Does this have a controller support? Maybe it has. I didn't check it, but yeah. You should challenge your sisters. Oh yeah, that's a good idea actually. But she lives really far away from where I am, so yeah. I'm really far away from my family. They're in like a different state, almost. Tetris again, let's go! I really like the sounds, it's really nice. It's really good. Yes, it has controller supports. Okay. In that case, I can play even better. It's really good, huh? I really like it. I like like how you set up the perspective is really interesting. I also like it's a simple like style, but I like the texture you use for the blocks. It's really good. It's nice, and the gameplay is pretty solid. It's really good. I have been working on shaders and particles, but I have not released it for the web. Oh, I see. Okay. It's really good. It's really good. I really like it. I'm getting distracted now. Oh no, it moved at the last frame. Ah, not bad, huh? Oh no! No, I fucked that up so bad. Let's do this. Okay. Saved. I'm going to put this here. No! You know, I'm fucking up my inputs. Can you do like the... Oh no, I don't think you can. The T-spin, or maybe you can. I'm so bad at this that maybe there's a way to do it, but I'm so bad that I don't know how to. Hey! Oh no, I'm screwed. I'm screwed. Oh, classic Tetris music. Okay, I think I'm actually screwed. Oh no, oh no, no, no. Oh man. Saved. Well, that's not good. Okay. Okay. I need that to be there. 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 Okay. Oh no. Okay. So yeah. Not bad, huh? I'm not a pro player, but I can do some stuff. Check this out. Those are my points. Level 18, 55 nines, speed 239 speed. What does that mean? Try multiplayer. Oh, that's my brain is going to explode if I try that. So okay, let's see. I'm going to give it a little test. I'm going to check that out, but after that I'm going to finish what I was doing for Voyager. Let's see. Is this bugged? Oh yeah. Okay. Game over. Yeah. Okay, so is this face off? Oh no. Oh, so okay, so this is for that one, and what button is for the player 2? I don't know. Oh no! Oh no, my brain can't handle this. It's too much. 3 multiplayer mods, okay. Okay, ask and check the controllers. You're right. So player 2 to drop down is end. Okay. Got it. Oh no! I broke it again. Okay. Yeah, it seems like maybe this browser is not suited for that. Oh man, it's really good. Continue button doesn't work. Yeah, it wasn't working there. So yeah, has a couple bugs, but it's really good. It's pretty good. So yeah, that's good, Ciala. That's a good mini game. It's pretty good. So yeah, and you said you did this in January, right? January. I have some issues like with some pronunciations, but yeah, I will get better at my English. So yeah, let's put back the music, and I'm going to finish the thing. 20 days in January. So you did this in 20 days? Was it like a game jam, or was it just a personal project for you? That's really interesting. In 20 days, that's pretty good. Just my personal challenge. That's good. So yeah, it's pretty good to set up some challenges like this, and some like little projects and objectives. You end up like learning a lot of things. So yeah, that's a good thing to do. I think like the last jam I joined was in 2022, and I even have the stream. I streamed that on Twitch here. In fact, I can show you that. I think. Yeah, let me see here. I can show you really quick. Stream broadcast backup. So this was in 2022. Look at me there. Look at my angry face there. I was so tired. And look at my old overlay. Oh, you cannot see it if I set it to full screen. So you can see my old overlay there. It was like a pixel clouds thing. And look at my hair there, it was a lot longer. That is 200% Argentinian hairstyle from the 90s. Yeah, that's true. I even have the same glasses. These glasses are like so bad, I have to change them soon. Look at the frame rate on the stream. It was losing some. Was losing so much, so many packages. Argentinian footballer. That's true. That's true. I was using a hat there too. Look at my VS Code theme there. So you can see there the mini game I was doing. I made this in 48 hours, so it was not bad. Yeah, I think it was pretty good. So yeah, that was the last game jam the last time I entered a game jam, and I would like to do something like that at some point, but I don't know. What was that game? That game is a game jam game I did like 3 years ago. What the hell with all the news there? So if you go to Neptosmic.com, which is my page, it's really outdated and I'm going to be updating it soon, but you can go here, bang. This is a jam game I did in 48 hours. And yeah, it's a pretty small game. And basically, the theme for this game jam was something like 10 seconds, I think, or something like that. And the camera animation were good. Yeah, I think it's not bad. It's a pretty good thing that I did in 48 hours. And the gameplay is that you can shoot a bullet, only one bullet, and while that bullet is alive, the timer goes up, and if the timer gets to 10, you die and you have to reset the level. So you have to make the bullet like bounce in the walls, like ricochet, and kill the enemies so that the doors are open. So yeah, that's basically the game. I don't know if I have it installed here, but yeah, you can try it if you want. I'll send the link there if you want to download it. It doesn't have online play though. You cannot play it online, you have to download it, because I didn't want to. I was lazy to export it to HTML5. So yeah, it's a compressed file. You can unzip it, and yeah, the game mechanic is good. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good idea actually. So you have to dodge the bullets, like the bombs. In fact, let me open up this again, like the video, so I can show you a bit better the actual game. I was exporting the game there. Did I try it? No, I just ended the stream there. I was creating the icon there. So you can see here, for example. So yeah, the stream was really bad. It was losing a lot of frames, but you can see the bullet goes on and on and on and on. And if it gets to 10 seconds, then you have you die and you have to reset the level. So you have to kill the enemies. You have to make the bullet hit the enemy so that the bullet is destroyed and the door is opened. So you can see that level. The bullet bounces there, and yeah. But you can see here, for example, I think I was testing. Oh yeah, you can make the bullet hit yourself, and then you can reset the bullet, I think, or something like that. But yeah. So yeah, I was testing a couple things there, but then this was the last bit of the stream, and then I just ended the stream there. Oh yeah, it's a pretty neat little game idea I had, and I did it. And yeah, maybe I'm gonna reuse your mechanic one day. Yeah, sure, go ahead. It's a good idea. So yeah. Okay. Well, it's been a pretty long stream for my usual length, 2 hours and a half. It's almost 7 p.m. here, and I usually go at 7 p.m. So I'm going to stay for a little bit more. I'm going to finish the thing I was doing, which is basically creating prefab variants for this. I'm going to create prefab variants, and this is going to be a hitbox, okay? And I'm going to create another one, and it's going to be well, let's just first work on the hitbox thing, okay? So in this case, hitboxes are going to be red, okay? So I'm going to choose some nice red color here, reddish color, okay? It's going to be a trigger, and the shape, whatever filter tags, I need to set it to hurtbox so that this only detects hurtboxes, okay? And that's it. But now the other thing I need to do is add the hitbox script, and then add the reference there, okay? Then I have this class. This is a reference, like this is a variable that's going to be filled with the actual weapon or thing that does the attack. So for example, if you shoot a bullet or a projectile, that projectile is going to contain one hitbox, and then the weapon is going to inform to transfer the data of the damage info to the projectile. So for example, well, the hit point is going to be that value is going to be filled once the hitbox enters in contact with the hurtbox, but the damage is going to be set beforehand, just when the projectile is created, spawned, okay? So when you spawn the projectile and then the projectile starts flying, okay? Then that's the moment that the damage is set. So then when the hitbox touches the hurtbox, it's going to transfer that information to the hurtbox, and then the hurtbox is going to fire an event that says, oh, I was hit. And for example, the enemy can read that, can listen to that event, and for example, grab that damage value and decrease the HP based on that damage value. Okay, that's all we are doing here. So that's the hitbox. I have to set the tag to hitbox. Okay, that's it. And now I'm going to create another prefab variant for the hurtbox. Okay, now hurtboxes are going to have a little different setting. So the tag is going to be, of course, hurtbox, of course. Collider type is going to be a trigger. Collider shape is going to be defined wherever I use the hurtbox. Filter tags is going to be hitbox, so hurtboxes only detect hitboxes. The color for this gizmo is going to be pink. Okay, I'm going to use this pink. And I also need to add the hurtbox script. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's basically it, I think. So now when I go to the astronaut prefab, okay, this is the astronaut prefab. Here, instead of having this, I'm going to have a hitbox and a hurtbox. not there, there, okay? Now, I do have this hurt box, which has a configuration, so I'm going to copy the settings from that. But for now, I'm just going to disable this. And now the good thing about this, can I show you my game I've made with someone in Ludum Dare? Yeah, of course. Of course, send the link. So, hurt box. Oh, it got censored. That must be Nightbot censoring your link. So try to send it like without the .com or something like that, or maybe use Discord. Yeah, you can join the Discord. Join the Discord and send it to whatever channel you want. I think that's going to be the best way. So for this, welcome to the Discord. Going to give you the wave. You can send it to general or whatever chat you want, so I can check it out. Thank you, Ciala, for that, for the help. I wasn't fast enough to do that. Games. Good choice, good channel choice. Okay, LD Jam, Narrow Cells. Here's my game I made with a friend. Okay, amazing. Let me check it out. Okay. Look, I'm not even logged in my Ludum Dare account. Okay, so it can be played in the browser. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to pause music. Okay, thank you for joining and thank you for sending the link. Let's check this out. Okay, made in Unity. Can I do this? Okay. Okay. Is it okay if I give you some feedback? Okay, so press W to start, reach the golden heart. Yes, of course. Okay, so first of all, the first thing I noticed is that the sound is a bit clunky. So I know that you're using just one sound sample and you're repeating, like you're looping the sound. My friend made it, not me. I just made the models. Okay. So this feedback, you can send it to your friend too if you're going to keep working on this project or for whatever other project. So for example, the sound you're using, I assume this sound is for the starship or whatever thing this is. So the sound is looped, so that's the engine of the ship, maybe. Now the thing is, the sound is not looping like nicely, so it's really evident of when the sound starts and ends. So I can hear the dun 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 instead of one linear thing that might be old and broken. Okay, that's fair. But yeah, for this kind of sound, you would want to like actually search or create a sound that loops nicely. Okay, so instead of like hearing dun dun dun, you would like to hear something more like playing, like dun. Okay, that loops back. And that might be because the sound has too much attack and the end of the sample is like, if my friend lets me remake it, I will remake it even better. Okay, sounds good. So let's start. So you have the controls here: A to turn left, D to turn right, S slow down, Q dash, and R retry. Okay. Reach the golden heart. Okay, let's go. Okay. Ah. Oh my god, okay. Okay. Oh my god. Oh no! I'm so bad. Okay, let's try again. Okay. Okay. Oh man. I'm assuming that if I hit those things, yeah, I think I'm losing life. Okay. Okay. Oh my god, no. Okay. Let's try again. Let me know if the volume is too loud. Oh no! I'm really bad at this. Okay, let's try again. Oh no, oh no. Okay, that was clean. That was clean too. Oh, I'm almost dead. We're still going. No. Okay, try again. It's fun. Okay. Oh man, it's really hard. Okay. Oh no. Okay. Oh no, where do I go? Oh no. Okay. Okay, so is there some menu? What's this? Okay, Q dash. Okay, I forgot about that. Okay. Okay, now, well. Okay, it's a bit easier now that I know that the dash exists. I forgot about that. Okay. Okay. Do we have weaponry? I don't think so. Okay. With R, I reset the thing. Okay. But yeah, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. Let me tell you. It's a pretty hard game. But once you get the controls and the inertia going, then I think it's. Oh my god! Yeah, I was not careful there. Okay. Oh man, I hit. Oh man. Yeah, it's not easy. Very steep learning curve. Yeah. Most definitely. Okay. Okay, so a couple things. I think you did a good job on. So I think it's pretty loud. So a couple of things I have already for you, some feedback. So already it's pretty hard. Like the actual speed is too fast. Maybe that's what you want, and that's fine. If you want the game to be hard, I think that's okay. But like right at the start, I have like already I have a really narrow way of how can I explain this? So you see here, like there's a really wide space, then it's getting narrower and narrower, and then I get this, which is really hard. This curve is really hard. So maybe the design of the level should be a bit more forgiving. So that's one thing. So it starts good, like there's like a wide open space. I think you should close it to up to this, like once, maybe remove those two things there, for example, and this one too, and those two. So at first try to make it as forgiving as possible. So it should be really easy at the start so that the player gets comfortable with the controls, okay? Then you can start increasing the actual difficulty, okay, in the further levels. So that's one thing, okay? It's really hard at the beginning. It gets really hard like too fast. That's one of the things, okay? Then the other thing is when you get to the point where the little like I don't know, it's like cells or like the purple things that have like tentacles. I don't know, it's like cells or like neurons, those things. So this here, I don't know if you have already a pattern or if it's completely random, but I would suggest that you make like a really evident pattern. So let me explain this to you in a better way. So for example, the first part, let's say this is your whole level, okay? This is level 1. So if this is your ship, or let's make it smaller, okay? If this is your ship, the level should be getting like narrower as you go on and on, okay? And maybe you start adding like curves like this, okay? So that you make the player start like turning and learning the controls, okay? And then you can start adding more and more obstacles, okay, as you progress through the levels. Then that part with the things that look like this, I think, is like something like this. They have those like tentacles, or I don't know how you call them. Okay, those things, I think you're spawning them randomly. So they are like randomly spawned and they move at a fixed speed, and they have a linear path. Okay, that's okay. But I think they shouldn't be spawning randomly, because that's really hard to avoid. So first of all, instead of spawning that many, okay, what the hell? Did I just, oh yeah. Okay, so you're spawning like a lot of them, okay? There's a lot, and sometimes I don't get like an opening to go through, even with the dash. Okay, so I would suggest that instead of spawning them randomly, you could have like a pattern, okay? So for example, like that. Is that okay? No. Okay, now it's okay. So you should have maybe at first just one spawning and moving there, okay? And just one spawns one, and then after 1 or 2 seconds you spawn another one, and just one, and after a couple more like meters, for example, you spawn 2, okay? So now you have 2. How can I do this? Okay, now you have 2. So now instead of evading 1, you have to evade 2 of them, which occupy a lot more space vertically, okay? Or maybe you can move it to this side and make it move to the other way around, okay, to the other direction. So you start increasing the difficulty slowly, okay? So basically my advice here is to tune down the difficulty a lot and make the first level way easier, okay? So that the player can learn the controls, and then you start introducing some of the obstacles slowly, like one by one, and then you start combining them, okay? So that the curve, like the learning curve, is like more like this instead of like this, which is right now. It's really like the learning curve should always be like this, instead of like it already starts like around here and it already goes like this. Is too high. So try doing that first. That's my first advice, okay? then also like the scrolling speed should be slower first, and then it should start getting faster and faster. Okay, so instead of moving at this rate, it should start moving slower, a lot slower, and then faster and faster as the levels go further and further. Okay, so for level 2 you can increase the scrolling speed a tiny bit more, and you can even play with that dynamically. So for example, at some point you can slow it down a lot, but then make it move faster in other parts. Okay, so that makes it more interesting. Then the other thing that Ciala suggested, which is a really good idea, is that it would be nice to have a button that lets you slow down time. So the scrolling or even time as a whole thing, you could press one button and then everything slows down like a slow motion thing, and then you can have like a better understanding of the surroundings, so you have more time to react. Okay, so that's the other thing. Other than that, it looks nice. I really like the shader you're using here, like the background and the little, like the balls here, those obstacles, those have like a really nice Fresnel effect. That's really cool. Like the gradients, the different blue tones. And I didn't get too far, so you said that there's like 3 levels. Oh yeah, so it's the same level, but you're like going through the levels in the same scene. Okay, so yeah, I only got to the dark, to the middle. I think it's level 2. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And I also, well, maybe you don't want to have a weapon, so maybe that's something you don't want, but yeah, maybe consider adding something like some kind of weapon. That would also be cool, but maybe you don't want to have weapons in the game, and that's perfectly logical. Then another thing I would say that could improve a lot is that the slowdown button should be a lot more drastical. So when I press S to slow down, it's really slow, like it slows down really slowly. It should be faster. So when I press S, I expect the ship or this thing to slow down really quickly and almost be still. Okay, so I would say that it would be good to reduce the velocity when you press S. It would be good to reduce the velocity really really fast. Okay. So yeah, that's my feedback for your game. It's a really good. I really like how you distributed the UI, and the graphics are good. I really like it, how it looks. It's pretty good. There's also a couple other things that I would suggest you could add. For example, when you have really low life and you're like one hit to die. Okay, so if you're at really low HP, you should make the ship flash in red. Okay, so that the player knows, okay, if I bump to anything now, I die, I lose. So I think that's a really important thing, that you know the player that they are in a critical situation. Okay, critical. So they have really low HP, and if they receive another hit, they will die. That's another thing that I think would help a lot the game. And yeah, that's it basically. I think that's a really good set of things that you can add to the game and modify, so that the gameplay is a lot improves a lot. Okay, so there's that. We had a couple play sessions, okay. A couple feedbacks things. I didn't give Ciala feedback about the game. I don't think so. I don't know if you, Ciala, asked for feedback on your game, but I think you only just send it to show it to me. But if you want to some feedback, I can give it to you, of course. but not right now because I'm going to end the stream soon. Okay, so let's play music again for a little bit, and I'm going to finish this thing, which is the collider, the hurtbox and hitbox for the astronaut. Okay, so the astronaut doesn't really have a hitbox because it's not a melee game. Like, you don't have like a sword or like a punch or something like that. In this game, you're only going to have like a weapon, like a gun. It's going to be called blaster. I don't know, I'm going to give it a better name, but it's like your unique weapon. It's the only weapon you have. I don't know if I'm going to add like other weapons that you can equip. I don't think so, at least for the first version of the game. But I want to have a hitbox here just in case I need it for something, I don't know. So what I want to do is go here and press setup, and that's going to create a hitbox. So you can see we have a hitbox here, it's red, and that's pretty good, okay? But what I need to do is copy the settings from this to that hitbox, okay? I'm just going to paste component values. That's perfect. And now the other thing I'm going to do is the same thing for the hurtbox, okay? So hurtbox, I'm going to tap this, okay? You can see now we have the hurtbox, which is pink. And now I can go here and just copy the values of the collider and just paste them here, and now we have everything ready again. Okay, that's amazing. So now we have basically like the base colliders and interaction triggers we need for the player. Okay, so that's this collider, the white one, which is for the physics interaction, so that it doesn't go through the ground and stuff like that, so that the physical interactions, okay? Then we have this one, which is for detecting ledges, so that you can climb the ledges and just like grab the ledge and climb it. Then we have the hurtbox, so that we can receive damage, and that's gonna be it. Those are the basic things. So I think that's pretty much what we need. Now I have to add the reference here, but I think I need to go to senses, okay, and change the actual reference type, because you can see I have this interaction area, and instead it should be hitbox and for this one, and hurtbox for that one, okay? So we have different types of things, okay? That's good. And now everything is broken here, so I'm just going to comment. Okay, let me see if I need to change anything else. Yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, whatever. I'm just going to comment all of the places where I have errors, okay? And we're going to work on that later. Another time, which could be tomorrow. But this is not what we're going to be working on, because I want to keep working on the planet area, so that when you get near to a planet, you get the UI of the planet name, and you can press an input and then land on the planet. That's the idea. That's what we want, okay? So that's what we are going to do. Now this is also throwing error, so I'm just going to comment this, okay? Okay, so now I can go here and add the references I need. Okay. Okay, so here I can add hurtbox and hitbox. Okay, perfect. That's all we need for now. Okay, so with that, we have a finished stream. Okay, I hope you liked the stream. I hope you enjoyed your time here. I want to thank you all very much for staying here with me and chatting a lot. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for the new follow, Bread Monsters. Thank you very much. Thank you for the subscriptions on YouTube too. It was amazing, a really good stream. I'm really happy. So thank you very much. You're awesome. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. You're awesome too. So I'm going to be streaming tomorrow, so that's going to be the next stream. But before that, I want to remind everyone to join the Discord if you didn't already. Okay, so whenever I go live, I send a message on Discord and you get that notification. Okay, I notify everyone when I live, so when I go live, sorry, so you can get notifications when I go live there. So be sure to join the Discord, and you can also share stuff there, like the people here in the stream that shared games and stuff. You can share whatever you want there. Okay, that's amazing. You can get feedback if you want. And that's it. So be sure to follow me on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, join the Discord, and that's gonna be it for today. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, and I will see you in the next stream. Okay, bye bye. See you tomorrow.